What, and this is going to be a hard question.
Oh, good.
I mean, not like.
Did you just like lighten the mood to come in for the kill shot?
I did.
Oh, here we go.
I got you relaxed.
All right.
And at ease.
Politics is a very light conversation.
It's super calm, right? It's super relaxing. It puts everybody immediately at ease as soon as you start talking politics. No. What are some things that you initially had like conceptions about when it comes to me and our relationship that, you know, after a few weeks, months, years changed? So like, you know, initial, I don't want to say opinions, but things that you know, initial, what's the word I'm looking for? I have been terrible with my words lately.
You're doing so good. You're like
I'm really not.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to get the word that you can't. Like my opinion of you, my perception of you. Is that the word? Okay.
Yeah.
My first
what
perception
were your first
of you.
perceptions about me? And do you remember any that were wrong? Do you know what I mean? Like you had like, and then we started living together and, you know, making life together and everything like that, that suddenly you're like, oh, I got that a little wrong.
I do have.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's that that your way was always better, that you knew more, and that you were right, and that your family was really healthy and loving, and the way to do it. Like you knew what to do. Your opinion was right, and I was definitely wrong, and that your family was the you
got that one way off.
I did. I really did. I also didn't form that on my own. I also had a little guidance in that direction, but I was also really hungry for that to be true. Right. So
I was too.
Yeah, right? Of course.
Yeah, I was really hungry for that to be true as well.
Right?
Turns out that was a lie.
Well, it wasn't a lie. It was just a misperception, misinterpretation. It was just misinformation.
There you go.
It was just,
it's fake news.
So that's the one that's really like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think had I known that, our relationship might have been a little different.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
We don't need to go on to that.
I'm so glad that we didn't know what we didn't know when we didn't know it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, Riddler.
Right?
Absolutely. No, it does though.
Yeah.
No, I know I'm like being snarky and
because in the
sarcastic
beginning,
right now because I'm feeling defensive.
Some things about one another, you know, we might have made different choices.
I think, you know, I guess we never know, right?
I'm
we
trying
never
to think
know,
through if
but
there's
I think
anything that has been revealed about you that I would have made different choices about. I don't think there is.
Okay.
But I'm also crazy. And during
that's
that
not the
time
compliment
period,
you think it was.
Crazy in love with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm crazy in love with you.
So
You're amazing.
You're incredible. Back to...
On today's episode of the podcast, we'll be discussing politics.
Let's go back
to
which is actually safer. Let's go back to now I answered you, and I'm curious, what did you, like it feels like a very tricky, trappy question because it is, but what perceptions did you have about me that you later figured out were incorrect?
You know, I didn't have a ton. Like there wasn't a lot that hasn't, you know, held true in a sense. By and large, for the most part, I feel like I had a pretty good gauge and understanding. And then the surprises and the things along the way and stuff like that. You know, that's just normal kind of run-of-the-mill stuff. You got to learn to deal with stuff when it comes up and learn about each other along the way. And so I genuinely can't think of anything.
Is that the safe answer or the honest answer?
Well, I mean, it would be like little stuff that isn't important. So like, I guess, I mean, if I'm really stretching to try to find something, you know, I guess I didn't have a real good, clear understanding of how you like to hold on to things. And I'm not talking about like, I'm not talking about like stuff that comes up in our relationship or things that I've done wrong.
About like physical
I'm talking
items.
I'm just talking about stuff. You're a big fan of stuff sometimes, and you know, like your micro obsession with receipts And making sure that
you can't say stuff.
Receipts.
Hold on. We talked about the beginning of the relationship. You can't talk about something what is developed within the later.
I don't know develop in the relationship. That was totally present.
Receipts?
It just manifested in a different way.
Ooh, I need to look at that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, it makes sense. There's these apps, and if you take a picture, you get points and maybe cash back. And how?
No, none of that makes sense. I mean, what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're like, if we pull up your phone right now, how many pictures of receipts do you have on your phone right now?
Listen.
Just take a guess.
Okay. So the point is sometimes
40?
I don't actually know.
200.
I don't actually know because it doesn't put it in a convenient tab for me.
It's less than 10. I'm sorry, it's more than 10.
It's probably less than 10.
It's not. It's more than 10.
I don't honestly know because I take pictures sometimes so I can upload it with a picture instead of having the actual receipt. But I don't know. A lot of times I get a stack that I'm like, it's either I stay with it or I get overwhelmed by it. And then once I get to a point of overwhelmed, then I just like, fuck it and throw it away.
Yeah.
And then the cycle repeats. So receipts was a big thing for you.
It's a huge thing for me. I've got a lot of trauma around receipt keeping.
Yeah.
No, all of those little like idiosyncrasies that people have that start to come out over the course of, it's like after the masks come down, after all the presenting your best, what were some things that, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. But I can't really think of any.
Well, there's a lot there.
I'm sure there is.
And just like the receipts itself, I'm like, my brain is like, no, this makes sense. So it makes sense. Let me explain myself. Let me show you why this thing isn't terrible about me because it makes sense. I'm actually doing a response. It's weird the way that my brain will justify it. Yeah.
And it's okay.
It's
not that big of a deal.
Well, it's funny that I didn't. Like, it's a thing. It's just another little, like, obviously I'm not going to focus my life now. I'm going to be like, okay, what is my relationship with receipts?
You got to really unpack that.
I got to really, and I can honestly say
we
a lot.
Need to find
it's
you a
because
receipt
of
therapist.
The tax people that scare you. Like, you remember everything. Anyways.
Do you think that's a component of it?
Oh, absolutely. But it's also not one that I'm not invested in. I mean, if I had boxes of receipts that I was like, we have to keep these forever, then I would spend a little bit more time on them. Okay, I think I might actually. Might have to find those and throw them out.
I was going to say, be careful what you're saying because I can go grab the box of receipts.
No, those are taxes. See, again, who does it? It's the tax people's fault.
It is the tax people's fault.
It's the 3-letter people.
That we shall not name.
We shall not.
Right? Don't say Voldemort. Don't say Voldemort. Don't say IRS Voldemort.
Oh, well, look at you.
I did it.
You did it.
We're screwed. They're coming for your receipts. Thank goodness you've got them all.
Right.
And we're going to be all right.
I don't. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Now that we've activated
we've covered that.
The IRS, we've activated them. So now we have to figure out what our next steps are in life.
I have a fun topic for us.
Do you?
We were meant to be. We were meant to be.